Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the MCFC Lads YouTube channel. I'm joined by Alex, of course, but also a very special guest that I'm sure you're all aware of. Big Steve, how are we, mate?
Very good, mate. You?
Yeah, not bad. Well, the Manchester Derby's just around the corner, so we've got you on, hooked you in like some sort of WWE superstar. The big man, Big Steve, how are you feeling for the game?
Same as every derby. You know what I mean? Nervous. Try not to overthink it. You know what I mean? Because you know what it's like. I mean, if you live in Manchester, you grew up around it. All your mates are Reds,
Yeah,
Blues. People, you're talking to the milkman, Doris, the
yeah.
lollipop lady's giving you a bit of shit when you walk into the shop. So yeah, it's just like any other derby, mate. I just want to get it in, get City the 3 points, and get out of there.
Well, yeah, I always say with a derby, it's like you've got Christmas, you got your birthday, you got New Year's Day, and then the two derby days. I know when Sven arrived in Manchester, some City fan told him in the airport, just win those two, and you've done a good job. And obviously, he did it in 2007-8.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to be nervous. Alex, fire him the next question, mate.
Yeah, obviously starts the season not been so great, but chance to change it around today with the derby. How you feeling generally about the derby? What's your mood going into it?
Um, the start of the season's not been too good. You know, we went to Wolves away. We played outstanding, and we thought this isn't bad. This, you know what I mean? We're looking the business. Then Tottenham exposed us at home, pressed us out off the pitch, out fought us, out muscled us, and then we go to Brighton and do exactly the same as what we did last season. So I think the mood around the camp in the City fan base, what I'm getting this week is a lot of people are scared that it's going to be a rerun of last season, where we're going to be short at the back. We're looking a little bit slow, a little bit leggy. Obviously, we've got Rodri back this year, so I'm hoping he can return to full fitness. But me myself, um, I'm. It's just one of them games where I think it's come at the wrong time for us because of the mini meltdown the fan base is having. But it could also come at the right time if City go and wallop them on Sunday. Then it's a good feel good factor around the club, and the fans are back on side. But we've got a tough little run coming up, and I don't know. I'm a bit nervous. Am I a bit nervous more than you probably am? Because a lot of people say to me, Steve, you're usually dead confident, and I think that's just because I'm a bit of an older head. Do you know what I mean? I have been a little bit arrogant the last few years. Been to Old Trafford and said, look, it's going to be a training ground, training session, and that. But looking at the two teams and the way we're playing, I can't even say that. Last season was El Shitico, El Borico, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
because it was crap. And I feel like it's going to be along the same lines. I just feel like, we've got to get the job done. It's going to be like going to the dentist. Get in,
Yeah.
get it done, and get out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, Steve, speaking about past derbies, we know last year that was a boring 0-0. It seemed like we didn't want to win that game, just not lose it. The first one was one of the worst derbies I've ever seen. But what we want to know is what kind of derby rituals have you got, if you've got any, and have you got any kind of stories from past derbies that you want to throw out there, mate? What have you got for us?
Ritual wise, it's like I've got a good close group of mates. I've been mates with them for over 30
Yeah,
years. We don't speak Derby Day, and we don't speak the day before or the day after, because we've all ended up having fights, punch ups, people getting head butted and that in the boozer. Woke up on a Monday morning, or you were scrapping with your pal outside the boozer and that, and it's like, oh mate, it just brings the devil out in you, done it, Derby Day.
yeah,
Especially when I had a few pints. But ritual wise, I know I'm going to be on the bog about 3 times before I go, so I have to take an Imodium because it's just the way it gets you in the morning. I know I'm going to bite the
yeah,
head off the kids because they're going to say something wrong in the morning. The missus just gets the kids and goes out now. She knows that he's like a bear, grumpy bear. But it's just Derby Day, isn't it? I mean, for my generation growing up, we were tortured by them. It was a long, long time. They just used to come, wipe the floor with us, laugh at us, mimic us. School was horrendous. Teenage work years wasn't much better. But recently it's been okay. But it's Derby Day, and like you say, you just gotta deal with it, man.
Yeah, you were just
yeah, big
saying
time.
you were just saying there. Obviously, we got tortured for years by United, and recently it's got a lot better. What would you say is your favourite derby game of all time? Obviously, there's a lot of good ones to choose. You go home and away, so you'd have been to pretty much all of
Yeah,
them. 5-1,
I
3-1
mean,
at Main Road. What's your favourite?
the 3-1 at Main Road was good because of the fact that it was the last derby at Main Road and the way, like, we hadn't won for years against them. They always had the knack of getting one over us. So that was the first time, really, I tasted it proper, where I was old enough to sort of milk it straight to the boozer after the game, giving it them reds and that. Loved it. So that one was great. And obviously, my best was the 6-1 at the Swamp. The whole build-up to it. I remember waking up on some guy's floor and in the morning and was like, we've got to go to the game, same clobber on. Went to the pub for a breakfast. I think Balotelli had let fireworks off in his gaff that night. It was in the papers. So we were all like, Balotelli's going to do it today. He's been on a bender last night. He's letting fireworks off. And then we went to the ground, got in there. I remember I was more excited when David Silva went through for the 5th, because obviously me growing up, the 5-1 was what I lived off. And I thought, please to God, if we can beat these 5-1 here, I'm happy with that. He scored, and I didn't even, we was only singing that song, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-1 for about 2 minutes, and then we scored 6. And I mean, coming out of that ground, it was like, the only way I can describe it was like being bullied for 20 years and then just twatting him. That's how I felt. I walked out the ground and I was about 8 foot tall. There was no United fans about. They'd all got off. We bounced into town, giving it the big one. No one was there. And then we all went back to the local boozer. And I remember we all started doing the Poznan, and a few of the local Reds seen their arse and went home. But yeah, that one we'll never forget, because that one was like, we have arrived. You know what I mean? No one does this to Man United at Old Trafford, especially not us, but we've done it.
So that's your best game. Have you got a best goal? Have you got a best goal in one of them games for us? Just one goal?
Probably the best goal and the celebration. We got beat. It was the FA Cup game when Uwe Rosler chipped Schmeichel. I think we had about 10,000 behind the net, and King Clancy spun on the halfway line, put Rosler through 1-on-1. I was only a teenager, I think. I remember being with my dad. And, you know, when you just get that excitement, like, shit, Rosler's through 1-on-1. It was right in front of us. And he chipped him. But he seemed to take an age to bounce in. And when it bounced in, the full end just exploded like you've never seen. I remember falling down and people going, it was like limbs. I remember getting up thinking, fucking hell, we're going to do it. And then we got robbed, man. The referee gave that penalty, said Michael Fronzak had all the Cantona or whatever. Roy Keane was ballooning, thinking we'd give a foul. And but that was probably the best goal, because I just enjoyed the celebration and the way Rosler ran off with his shirt as if to say, fucking, we're Man City, man. This is what it's about. But yeah, that was my favourite one, to be honest.
Yeah, for us, me and Alex both said in our podcast the Gundo one against United at Wembley. Obviously, Wembley's got to be up there.
Yeah, listen, it's mad, because that one was, I'm having it. Even Yaya Touré's in the semi, you know what I mean, when he skipped through. There's been a few. David Silva's when he puts it through his legs there in that one. But even Benjani, because it was quite a somber day. That it was the anniversary of the Munich air disaster. They were expecting all this trouble. He was never going to get trouble. The City fans went there. We held the scarves up. They even said on the tannoy, your behaviour has been impeccable. That's why we were singing "We Are Impeccable." And then we were shit, man. They had Ronaldo, Tevez, Rooney. We had Darius Vassell and Benjani up front, but we just give it him. You know what I mean? And that was a good one. But like you say, for limbs and absolute scenes, was just that chip from Uwe.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll move on slightly then to the game on Sunday. Obviously, there's a lot of questions with the lineup. We've had a few injury announcements today, a few players that haven't quite made training, which is a bit concerning. We've also got a goalkeeper dilemma with Donnarumma now in the squad. Trafford obviously available as well. What would your preferred lineup be for the game on Sunday?
I mean, we don't know who's fit, really, or I've not really seen much of the training. I'd start Donnarumma. I think you've signed one of the best goalies in the world. He's got to play. It's a big, big game. You want that experience. Midfield, it'd be Reinders, Rodri, and I would probably play Bernardo for a little bit of energy in there as well. On the left, I'd like to see Savinho play off the left if he's fit. And then on the right, I'd like to see probably Foden if he's fit.
Yeah.
And then the big man up front, obviously, you banged 5 goals in the other night, so he's on fire, you know what I mean? But he's got to have the service. But this is, I mean, Man City fans, you know, if this was any other derby with another team with this amount of injuries, everyone would be crying at home. We ain't crying at home. We've got a good squad. We've just got to find a way of dealing with it. And at the end of the day, when you take a step back and take your derby glasses off, they're not a good side. We should be beating them.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? And that's what I'm thinking. But last year they did a smash and grab. I do feel like United are built to cause us problems. I do feel like they are quick on transition, and it's everything we sort of kind of don't like. But I just feel like we need to see a bit of pride. One thing with Manchester City over the years, even when we were shit, we always had a bit of pride. Now I can handle getting beaten a derby, me, if we try and we put a few challenges in and we represent that badge. But last season, when we give them that win and just let it go with a whimper, the FA Cup final, the same, just let it go with a whimper. That for me is hard to take. You know what I mean? Yeah. I can't take it. So I hope there's a proper derby. I thought the last derby at Old Trafford was absolutely weak as piss. I thought off the pitch, going to the ground. I don't know about you. I usually get a little bit of spice going in. People calling me baldy and fat, whatever you want to call me and that. I like a bit of that, you know what I mean? They're all coming up. Can I have a picture? I'm like, fuck off. You know what I mean? It's derby day. Go away from me, man. You know what I mean? So I didn't even get the usual venom. And then I'm in the ground and they're all filming us and taking pictures of the City fans doing the Poznan. It's weird. But I want a bit of spice, man. I'm not saying go out there and kill each other. I'm just saying let's have a bit of banter. Let's have a bit of shit. And let's get the ground boiling and get some challenges in, man. You know what I mean? It's derby day.
Yeah, that's what you want. Well, this is actually the second last question I got for you, Steve. It's which player ever proper got stuck into the derby the most? I was thinking like a Zabaleta, but obviously tell us yours. And then I want to know in the current team who you think's going to be most up for it. So like an all-time and then in the current team.
I used to like Vincent Kompany, his mentality for the derby, even just by standing in the tunnel, focused, get the job done. You know, if he had to rattle someone, he rattled someone. He's up, pumping on the chest when he scored, running in that corner and that. I thought he led by example, Vincent. And I thought, that's what you want. Someone in the dressing room that can get everyone pumped. The current squad at the minute, I mean, I said it the other week. I can't remember the last time I sort of like jumped up when a challenge went in as like get in there. I think Kuzanov's got a meaty one in him if he has to. You know what I mean? I feel like he has it. But I think you got to look at the ones that. I mean, I think Rodri can get involved. I think Rodri knows what it means, and I feel like Erling Haaland, obviously being a City fan, signing a 9-year contract. You know, the way he talks about the derby, the way Roy Keane was whining, you know, said about his dad and the Stretford end and all that. I think there's a little bit of beef there. So I'd expect Erling to put himself about at weekend as well and make them centre-backs know that they've had a game, you know?
Yeah, top stuff.
Before we end off the game Sunday, we've got to beat Manchester United. We haven't beaten them yet under Amorim, which is a disgrace in itself. Steve, what's your score prediction?
I'm going to say 2-0 City. I think it will score early doors. It'll be cagey for a long period of time, and I think that they might try and go for it late on, and we might nick another one. And I'll be a very, very happy man if that happens.
What about you, Luke?
Yeah, I went 2-0 as well, Alex. I went 2-0 as well, obviously. I forgot what you said the other day on the podcast. What do you go for, mate?
I went big. 4-1. We get the job done. Big Earl gets at least 2.
Tell you what, that'd make us happy men. But the final question, Steve, if you were in the dressing room, minute to kick off, a minute to the players walking out, whatever you want to call it, and the Pep said, right, we're getting Big Steve in. There's another bald man to speak to you now. And he said, Steve, give him a team talk here, 60 seconds. This will finish the video. Everyone watching, this will hype you up for the game. Steve, this is your 60-second team talk to the team. End it on that, mate.
I'll say, listen, you see this badge on your shirt, yeah? Well, all them fans out there, every single one of them fans dreams of playing in that shirt. And today, God chose you. This is Derby Day against the swamp dwellers from over the road. This lot think they're bigger than what they are. So go out there, fucking hit them hard, make sure this crowd get behind us, and let's win this derby and send this lot back to Stretford.